You know that feeling when you're staring at a wall of central vacuum options and wondering if you'll end up spending $100 on a system that just sits there, gathering dust? That hesitation is real, especially when you've got kids, pets, or allergies, and you're trying to protect the air you breathe without turning your house into a construction site. I've been looking into a lot of models, reading the specs, and even scrolling through forums where people vent about suction loss or noisy motors, because nobody wants to buy the wrong thing and regret it later. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So, is the VacuMaid SR66 worth putting into a home that's, say, 2,500 square feet with a big dog that loves to shed and a couple of kids who think dust bunnies are a snack? The short answer is yes, but let's break down why it might be a fit for you and where the trade-offs lie. First off, the SR66 is built in the USA, which isn't just a marketing line. Manufacturing domestically usually means tighter quality control and easier access to replacement parts. For a central vacuum that you expect to run for years, that can translate into less hassle down the line. The unit is rated for up to 10,000 square feet, so even if you add a finished basement or a future extension, you're not immediately outgrowing the system. Now, let's talk about the real-world scenario that matters most: pet hair and allergens. The 660 watts of cleaning power isn't just a number. It means the motor can maintain strong suction even when the hose is pulling air through long runs of pipe. I've spoken with a few pet owners who said they were tired of handheld vacuums losing suction after a few minutes of pulling up a sofa's worth of dog fur. With the SR66, the suction stays consistent because the motor stays out of the living space and is designed to handle the load continuously. That consistency is a big win for anyone who needs to run the vacuum daily or even multiple times a day during shedding season. Installation is another practical point. Central vacuum systems can be a headache if you're not handy, but the SR66 design is fairly straightforward. A single power unit that you can place in a garage, utility room, or even a closet, and a network of PVC pipes that run through the walls. If you're doing a remodel or a new build, you can integrate the piping while the walls are open, which saves a lot of retrofitting cost. For a DIY-oriented homeowner, the unit comes with a clear set of instructions and all the necessary fittings, meaning you don't have to hunt for third-party adapters later. On the flip side, the unit does have a few practical weaknesses that show up once you live with it. The first is noise. Because the motor sits in the same room where the unit is installed, you'll hear a low hum when it's running, hardly a scream, but noticeable if the unit is tucked next to a bedroom wall. If you're a light sleeper, you might want to consider placing it in a space that's farther from sleeping areas. The second is the weight. The SR66 isn't light. You'll need at least 2 people to move it safely into position. That's fine for a one-time installation, but if you ever need to relocate it, you'll have to plan for the extra muscle. Who should buy this? If you have a medium to large home, especially one where you're dealing with pets, allergies, or a lot of foot traffic, the VacuMaid SR66 gives you the kind of constant suction that a handheld can't match. It's also a solid choice for families who want to keep their living spaces cleaner without having to lug a heavy vacuum around every room. The system's ability to handle a full house's worth of debris without losing power means you'll spend less time vacuuming and more time enjoying a dust-free environment. Who should skip it? If you live in a small apartment under 800 square feet, the upfront cost and the need to run piping might not be justified. Also, renters who can't make permanent modifications to the walls will find the installation process more trouble than it's worth. And if you're extremely sensitive to noise, you might want to compare the SR66 to models that advertise sound dampening housings. In everyday use, the biggest value driver is the convenience of a single inlet hose that can be pulled out of any wall socket. No more dragging a cord around, no more swapping out batteries. You just attach the hose, press the foot switch, and the motor up in the power unit does the heavy lifting. That translates into less physical strain and a faster cleaning routine. The fact that the unit can keep up with a pet's shedding cycle without needing to be emptied constantly, the dirt canister holds a respectable amount, means fewer interruptions during a cleaning session. Maintenance is pretty low maintenance, but